America's so sure they could win a war. When's the last time they did it? Did they beat war? Did they beat Russia and Ukraine? Did they beat Afghanistan? Did they beat Vietnam? When's the last time America really won a war?
Probably World War II.
You got to decide what you mean by one, though.
Well, I'll decide on the fly as I try to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't expect that, Chris Cross.
I think it's achieving your stated goals at the beginning of the conflict. So Vietnam's an L. We lost it to the commies, right? 100%. That's an L. But Afghanistan, we got Osama bin Laden. I felt like that was what we were there for. And the fact that they moved the flag to we need to turn Afghanistan into San Diego or something, or into Phoenix, Arizona. They're going to be just like us. If you move the goalpost to that, then that's an L too. But it should have been just we're after Osama bin Laden.
I remember a very large mission accomplished sign, so I'm pretty sure we won that one.
That was Iraq, right? Wasn't that Iraq?
Must be another win. It must be another win.
Yeah, that was a win too. Yeah, that definitely didn't lose.
Now I'm looking back on it. These are all wins, Kyle. That's a good point.
Yeah, the mission accomplished Iraq banner was so early. It would be like leaving Lord of the Rings after Isildur gets the ring. It'd be like, whew, the bad guys are defeated. Quick, easy story. Mission accomplished. Isildur is the guy who uses the shards of Narsil to cut off the hand of Sauron as he's about to kill him.
If that was Star Wars, there'd still be yellow words on the screen when that takes place.
Yeah, we did get a little over our skis, it seems, with Iraq. We're like, it's going to be done soon enough anyway.
I remember it differently. So what I remember is we went in there and the Iraqi army folded. A few weeks later, maybe a month, something like that, after Christmas for sure, maybe in the new year, we got Saddam. They hung him. They killed him. We threw up a temporary government, our puppet, and it was like winner chicken dinner. Flew the flag, and then a few months later, the insurgency began. We should have left and turned the cameras off right after all that shit I just said. There was no reason to stick around.
So, like Kyle said, the U.S. went in there. We kind of clearly won, if you call it that. And then we disbanded the Iraqi military. And now you have all these ex-soldiers with no money looking for something to do, and in comes the insurgency. It was a strategic error.
I think we should have left. We shouldn't have been there. We should have just left.
We should not have made all their fighting forces broke and hungry. It turns out that creates more war.
That was a mistake for sure. And in the first Gulf War, when we turned on the rebels, right? Schwarzkopf, we won the war, and the Iraqis were like, all right, we surrendered and everything, war over. Can we fly our helicopters in the north and put down that rebellion? Those Kurds are just going ape shit. And we were like, well, actually, we're friends with the Kurds. We've been helping them fight you during, this war we just had. But sure, yeah, fly your helicopters, do your thing, quell that rebellion of our former friends. And they went in there and gassed them all to death. I don't remember how many thousands, maybe 5,000 Kurds were gassed to death, dead in the streets. Our former allies. That was a strategic.
The U.S. has a history of doing that. That's getting hard to ignore. Whether it be turning our back in the Kurds, turning our back in Syria, turning our back in Afghanistan, turning our back in Ukraine, turning our back in everyone but Israel. If you're the next person who needs help, and America is saying, we'll be your friend, you better win this war in 9 months.
Just hearing the word Israel made my heart swell. God, I love that people.
Okay,
ally.
Everything. Our most important ally.
Definitely. Don't ask for reasons, you
Where would we have been during the Revolutionary War?
If you ask for reasons, you're an anti-Semite.
Yeah. These people, we just got to keep going to the Middle East. We just got to keep I don't really like the Middle East. I got to tell you the truth. I don't think it's been a good thing for us. It seems like it's been a huge negative at every turn. We keep running at that football. This is the time it's going to work out.
Did something bad happen over there or what? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Actually, so my parents met in the Middle East. They met in Saudi Arabia. Both my parents are fluent in Arabic, which is they're very white. So
that's pretty sick.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, they would say Arabic stuff in the house. And when you're a little kid, you don't realize there's different languages. So I just thought when you go somewhere, you go, yalla ya habibi. That's what it means. Come my love, let's go. And so I'm a little kid saying stuff, or if you're relieved, alhamdulillah. I said one of these things at school, and some kids just like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
That's so funny to randomly know just a couple things in Arabic, just enough so that if you say it in front of your Uber driver, you're then having to nod and like, he's thinking you're garnering everything he's saying.
I was watching, I was reading. It was the manual that U.S. soldiers were given who were fighting in the North African campaign during World War II. And it was some do's or don'ts when interacting with Muslim culture. And it was fascinating to read because it was very straightforward. It was meant for the servicemen to read, guys with little to no education. And it was like Muslims, and it's like, make no mistake about this. When it comes to their women, Muslims are very protective. Do not speak to them. Do not touch them. Do not look at them. And it like went page by page on this, like how to like interact with Muslims and how to treat their mosques, and it was really cool. I love little pieces of history like that. That's why I was fascinated, and I'm gonna buy that deck of cards from Iraq during Iraq. When we went in to get Saddam and the whole regime, they made a playing deck of cards. And Saddam Hussein is one of the aces. Uday and Qusay Hussein are two more of the aces. And I don't remember, maybe Chemical Ali or somebody's the fourth ace. And then they break down the rest of the deck with lesser wanted members of the regime. And this was distributed to all the allied servicemen from all the countries. Millions of decks were made. And that way, everyone had on them 52 pictures of the faces of the guys we're after. That way, if they try to blend in, or they try to hide among the population, you can pull out your deck of cards and be like, that's the jack of clubs right there. Snatch his ass up. And apparently we made so many of these that you can get them now for like $20-$30 or something.
Dude, I was like, Kyle sold me on how fascinating this is. I'm going to pop on eBay. 2 decks for $8.88. There's a discount if you buy 6 or more. How many of these decks did they heckin' make?
We were in it for the long haul. We thought it was going to be a longer war, I guess, than it was.
They're factory sealed in plastic. 2 for $8.
Yeah, we had to have made like 20 million decks. And I mean, we sent like 250,000 men or something, but that's still like way too many decks.
I think in the next World War, we should get Hugo Boss so that, 100 years from now, people are like, damn, look how spiffy
we should start now.
Right.
I think we could
they attacked their allies for
now.
no reason, but their dress code was dope.
They look fantastic. They were so fit. And we'll only need to send fit soldiers. Although that was a thing. All the soldiers in World War II were fit. There aren't really any pictures of big fat ones.
Well, they were
now
all
there wasn't enough food.
Yeah.
It's like there's not enough food to be fat.
Yeah, we talked about this recently. The average weight of an enlisted man was like 150 pounds, and then after boot camp, it was like 165. Like they needed food.
Now it goes the other way. It's like 180, and after boot camp, it's 165.
I bet. There's no telling. I don't think we've talked about it, but recruitment. Say what you will about the Trump administration, but as far as military recruitment numbers go, it's the best it's ever been, or at least in modern history.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody wants to go fight those future wars for Emperor Trump.
Seems like a scary time to join up. I wouldn't want to go potentially fight Iran.
This is the time. Fight Iran? Why are you always on about Iran? We're going to take out Greenland and then Panama and then the crown jewel of North America, Canada.
No, we are the crown jewel, not them.
They're the hat. They're the hat.
Yeah, they actually no. We can be the crown. They can be the crown jewel. We'll just be friends again.
Exactly. I mean, we could be friends, or they could just be, Americans.
So President Polk. There was a Polk president, and he was like well known for expanding America. He like was Louisiana Purchase, all this shit, or whatever. So some expansion, and Trump had whatever pictures of presidents taken down from the Oval Office and brought President Polk in there, almost as like a sign of like we need to expand the country once again and do like what Polk did. And I'm like, it's nice. You like to see your predecessors getting some play.
Good for you. Have you ever looked into genealogy and seen if you were perhaps related with President Polk?
So it's kind of interesting. So any president's lineage is super well documented. So like that stuff's really good. And then my grandma did this big genealogy research thing. So like I actually know the Polks going back like 7 generations. and they came from Tennessee, and he came from Tennessee, and so there's like an Alfred Polk I can't trace, and then there's an Alfred Polk in the President Polk's family tree, so it's like quite likely, but I can't like prove it.
Nice.
You should just say it. Just moving forward, just claim it.
The fact that you can't prove it means that no one can disprove it. So
I also can't disprove it. That's true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I want to see how much did he add to the country. Polk.
I saw.
And you know what? I even like the idea of rotating out the president portraits, because it does seem a little much where it's less like Washington all the time, fucking Lincoln all the time.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of great guys back there. Let's rotate some new ones in, get some fresh faces, and be like, oh, you know what? I would like to know a little more about fucking
Woodrow Wilson.
Zachary Taylor. What did he do?
President Taft would be great to learn a little bit about, I think.
Yeah, we need to fix his legacy. It's all about him in the fucking bathtub.
Maybe a little Grover Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland. You just want the fat ones. you just want the big fat boys.
A little bit of a Chevy chaser over here.
Yeah.
Did you see what Donald Trump added to his Oval Office?
What did he add?
Comedy.
The original copy. The original copy of the Declaration of Independence is now on his wall.
Where was it before?
It is locked away in the Smithsonian in an underground vault. It is so sensitive to sunlight, they had to install curtains around it. So when he's showing it off, he pulls little curtains apart that are just on the wall and reveals the Declaration of Independence.
That's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, that is. Isn't it cool to still have that? Like, it's when will that just fall apart due to being paper?
It's written on hemp.
Written on hemp? Does that mean it's going to take longer to fall apart?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's good. We got it.
Our founding fathers were geniuses. Forward thinking.
Isn't it crazy though that they came up with a system that's been this resilient for this long? It's pretty nuts. Like to have the foresight to create something that could withstand all this bullshit after all these years. It's pretty sick.
So far,
it's pretty cool. They say that they stole a lot from the Greeks. No, Greeks, it's all us.
Mm-hmm.
It's all us. No help at all. America.
We invented the Republic. That's right.
Yep, it wasn't something for eons throughout Europe.
Right.
Certainly
George
not.
Washington.
The term senator was a new word.
A totally new word. No one had conceived of this before. There weren't Socrates didn't have reams of written works on.
I saw